path to entrepreneurship by establishing his own business development consultancy, help, HOP, helping the overlooked process, technical assistance. The Small Business Digital Maturity Study by Delia found that only 36% of small businesses nationwide have fully adopted digital tools and technologies. HOP operates internationally with 6 engineers and empowers small and underrepresented businesses with technical assistance to help them thrive in today's digital age. Give it up for DeiMarlon Scisney. Thank you.
Now I'm going to be talking a little bit about this. Very much. So Christopher Lee is from a small local town. Somewhere on Mississippi. And growing up, he realized that although his community was in some he went on to attend his bachelor's of science in industrial systems. While at Mississippi State, he made a committed effort to make change by joining many minority student-led businesses and serving on the executive board, such as Men in Excellence, National Society of Black Engineers. From his time in college, he went on to become a mid-level industrial engineer for the Boeing Company in Everett, Washington, where he currently resides. Service continues to follow him as he currently is a professional member of the National Society of Black Engineers and Boeing Black Engineers Association. Please help me welcome this member of our panel, Christopher Lee. Now I'm going to be introduced to Denai was born and raised in the South. He was a proud first generation recording listener. He has moved various roles global communities. He is now a product marketing businessman. Denai loves mentoring people as alternative. He also believes in working hard and having in her free time, she loves to dance, listen to oldies, roller skate, travel, eat, and spend time with her loved ones. Give it up for Denai. Thanks so much. So we have a couple of prepared questions, but I think we're all in agreement that we want this conversation so we're not scripted. Raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you. Okay, our first question is, what inspired each of you to career in technology? How did you get started?
Yeah, so I guess I can start this one off. So I actually entered the tech field by like I don't even know what you would call it. It was like the tech field chose me, I guess. So I was actually a biology major, a neuroscience major. I was on my way to medical school. Like I was trying to be Carson. I wanted to work on babies' brains, right? I wanted to be a pediatric neurosurgeon, and that was my focus. And then I found out this opportunity within tech, and then just found out more about AWS, the opportunities that kind of coincided with the cloud, and then kind of delve a little bit deeper into just the tech field in general. And then I was like, I got to thinking, I was like, well, I come from a background that fell woefully below the federal poverty line. So I was like, okay, do I want to throw $100,000 into debt, or do I want to make $100,000 right out of college? And so then I got to thinking, I was like, okay, I can get these certifications and kind of move up, right? I don't really know the tech, but I can learn the tech, right? And so really, to make a long story short, I would say that the tech field really chose me, and just the opportunities within tech, because you look at tech now, right, and especially when I started, I was like, okay, analytics, AI, ML, that stuff's going to be booming here soon. And then now you hear it now, and that's all you hear is AI, AI, AI. And what is that, right? What does that mean to do for your business or, whatever you're trying to do? And so I definitely feel like that the tech field chose me, just the opportunities.
I am just gonna piggyback. I'm gonna say +1. So I feel chose. My middle school, I went to a school center applying for technology. I just love it. High school and some programs that involve technology and stuff. But I was in the health field too. Like somewhere in high school, I decided that I wanted to be in the health field. Honestly, I don't know. I think it was like a safe choice, you know, kind of like going up a career area and say, like doctor, something like that. So, when I went to college, I also studied like teaching, and I wanted to work with kids. And then, like you said, like I feel like it just chose. I was like, actually, let's back it up a little bit and let's go back to my roots and figure out what it is that I naturally into. I've always been on computers, always been on like my phone. We're like the generation of like technology in a sense, so it kind of like naturally we gravitated towards that. And my journey with Microsoft, so I was still in college while I was working at Microsoft. I worked in the retail stores, and to get to like the corporate level, I just found out about the program. Through Microsoft. Microsoft actually reached out to me like through LinkedIn, so I was just kind of like in those spaces naturally, and it just kind of happened. I'm here now, and I love it. It's just that's great.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. So for me, one thing I want you guys to do, if you find out, and I got to remember all of work down and put right there. Example was still like it's supposed to be. And so I understood that I would. And I also love talking. So I was like, how can I put these two things that I care about into something that because I'm not going to college, right? So going to high school, I had a teacher that I literally loved. I had her for three years back to back. One in high school. He was a listener. So I love her. I love how she worked throughout. And right. And so when I got to college, I understood that's what it was for me. But it doesn't, business segments, but also utilize the mind. And so at that particular time, I realized that very far with this is something that is going to be for the years to come when technology moving every single day, like with AI. So eventually got here, and like they said, it kind of chooses you, but at the end of the day, you really just have to listen to what am I passionate about and how can I make it into a career that can actually benefit.
Thank you so much for those amazing responses. I'm going to switch the order of questions a little bit. There's another question I saw caught my eye. But I was just wondering, you know, off the topic about any particular challenges or obstacles you face in terms of questions you represented the technology, and how did you overcome them?
I'll start this one. So I believe one of the things coming into this tech field that I realized everyone's journey here is a little bit different. And some people may come in with different, what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone might come in with different skill sets that they already have. But once I understood that it's not about how you start the race, but how you finish, that's something to propel me to get that extra help. So whenever I began started working, I reached out to individuals who had this skill set, who had this particular type of knowledge, and I allowed them to be my A1, my person that I was going to every single day. And I continuously learned, I continuously had the growth mindset, I continuously tried to innovate and create more and more knowledge that I can actually use. And so from that particular standpoint, you can come into a situation and not have everything that you need, but it's about the mindset that you have to actually gather the information that can take places from that particular point.
For me, personally, I would say challenges that I feel like I've faced. It's a word. It's called like imposter syndrome, and if you don't know, it's like getting into a space and maybe feeling like you're not doing enough when in reality you are. I think for someone like a young Black professional like myself, I get to these predominantly white spaces, and it's hard to get to a place where maybe where you feel like you don't relate to everyone. Our story is completely different from those who might have been in the same space that I'm in. And so like just like getting into those spaces and like trying to cling to the people that look like me, the people that have similar background stories just like me, and figuring out how to like navigate my way through the work that I'm doing and be great at what I'm doing and understand that like nobody has like my superpowers. And so that would say that's like my challenges being in these spaces, and as you constantly elevate, you have to like remind yourself that hey, like I'm here for a reason because I work for this. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, that is powerful, y'all. Oh my goodness. Imposter syndrome and then knowing when to say that you need help and then being able to pick so like I want to kind of tie all of that together, right? So even with the imposter syndrome, like to kind of back off of that, I feel like as Black folks too, it's like we try to, or we almost have to in spaces as well, work 150%, right? Doing above and beyond and more than what the average Joe Smo has to do, right? The same person that's doing the exact same job, right? As what I'm doing. And so, in addition to that, not overworking and kind of also knowing when to like take your breaks, right? Also, just focusing on health. All of that stuff is important. In addition to that, but you will some obstacles that I faced. My entire time at Amazon Web Services, I did not take PTO. Took PTO one time. To the point to when I left, I chose to leave. I got a check from my PTO that had accrued, right, from that. But it was like, okay, this is fine. But it's like I also looked at it and I was like, my goodness, I took no time whatsoever to myself. I was working, working, working. So yeah, just knowing when to also rest, yeah, but not quit. And then don't be complacent as well. But then also don't get caught up in the right? Because you can also get caught up in the system where, okay, now I'm gonna to an L5, I gotta get to an L6, right? So you can also get caught up in that as well. So those are a few obstacles that I would say, but definitely just, and then just knowing when to also depend on people as well, get mentors involved. And ask people like us for guidance or
Highlight some career paths. I don't know specifics, but this- I'm sorry. It's not anything. And so I think it's like getting into those spaces, like setting so definitely it's like people are always saying it's what you know, it's who you know. interesting.
Yes, I love that. And certifications as well, right? That also your your network is your network, right? And what do I mean by that? So I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. 300,000 tech jobs came to Seattle in the past 5 years. What percent y'all think? Be a little bit higher, man. We got 2.7%. We got 2.7%. Okay. But I know, right? Yeah, you're close. And so that's due to lack of access. I'm a firm quote by Layla Janam. She's a famous entrepreneur that says all too often talent is opportunity, right? So the talent is there, but the opportunity to that is not always there, right? So it's opportunity, but it's also access to that knowledge and the knowledge, right, around these. So your network is your network, right? So, for example, they have a whole AWS skills center downtown. You can go in and get free training that you can get, go in and like interact with the different things around the cloud, and, take different sessions, meet people, actual AWS people in person, right? And it's free to be able to do this, right? And network. But it's like people don't really know about these opportunities and things like that. But again, you can get in touch with people like us and things like that to be able to get these resources and having things like this. This is why we're doing this, right? But I use this as an example because it's right there where you can network with those individuals, learn more on how to apply, get involved, right? Gauge interest around if this is what you want to do. But then getting to that as well, certifications. A lot of people also see certifications. Certifications can really differentiate. I was able to get my role, I was an L6 analyst and AIML specialist, like a year and a half starting at Amazon Web Services. I was able to work my way up through the sales order, like 6 months of inbound and outbound. Then I was a strategic ISV account manager where I had accounts like DocuSign, Lacework, HashiCorp, some of the top strategic ISVs, right? And then moved into an analytics and AIML role, but that was based on my competency in the service. I didn't come from a tech background, but being able to learn about the tech can get you to places. Being able to network, right? Because I sat down, I made the coffee chat with my soon-to-be manager, and I was like, "Hey, I'm interested in this role. You mind telling me a little bit more about this and things like that?" And he was like, "I love your spirit. Let me just want to put you through the interviews and got the role, right?" So it's again, your network is your network, certification, trainings, all of that as well. And then just hit us up for more information on how to get involved.
Just to add a little more clarity, for there is a partner with MIT, two-year program where you get VA and you get other. The way I was even able to hear about this, I went out and seek another mentor in another program. So when we talk about your network, you never know what is out there. And that's the biggest thing that I have to speak up. So that was something that is going to fulfill this thing. 5-year plan, 10-year plan is well. Also, I have a friend of mine as well, and multiple programs at our colleges as well that are partnership with. So if you want to find what to offer programs Scisney, you just have to go to the admissions office or go to whoever it may be around the college and ask who's coming to our who's in the position, in the room, who knows what's
That, everything you, I just want to thank you all. And all these skills and things you're mentioning are so relevant to all people. I really appreciate that. I feel like I also kind of connected to everything you said. I used to be really interested in tech, but I found myself a little discouraged at times because I struggled in my comp sci classes. Thank you for speaking to us about so you were using our networks and that kind of stuff, right? So I think it's something that all of us need to do. Now I'd like to open it up to the audience for any questions. So we get that. But if anybody in the audience has any questions, I just like have a conversation.
I haven't always been interested in the tech field, but I am interested from like others, like the certain evolutions, such as like how people talked about ChatGPT and the evolution of AI in the past. So I'm just wondering if there are any other exciting projects or evolutions that you see right now that you're excited about, or potentially not excited about, or could be like fearful of.
And I love chatting about this type of stuff. Okay, so like AI definitely is going to continue. I mean, we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do. So that's just going to continue to revolutionize. We're getting to a stage where it's going to be like deep learning that's going to happen and just a lot more is going to happen with AI, right? Quantum computing is coming up. That's going to be something that's huge as well. AR, VR, right? You know that Apple is about to release their augmented reality glasses, right? To actually conceptualize the whole computer just through the headset, right? And then there's other ones that are out as well, but not to the caliber of what they're about to because it's augmented reality and there's virtual reality, but it's a little bit different. And then I would say what Amazon is doing, a lot of people don't know about it, but it's called Project Kuiper. Starlink is also doing it, Tesla, Elon Musk, but it's essentially satellites that they're sending up. It's 3,336 satellites that Amazon is sending up into orbit. And this is a 3-year-long project that's about to take place. But by the end of it, we will have global Wi-Fi to where there's just for pennies on the dollar. And it's essentially just like you just pay for the Wi-Fi and it's just in the air, right? And it's basically the whole goal is to democratize access to Wi-Fi in underserved areas, right? Because you look at places like Africa, you look at places like Peru and Argentina and places like that, and even here, right here in Seattle, are well, like 80 miles outside of Seattle, they don't have access to internet, right? They have to like go to coffee shops and sit in the parking lots and like go outside of places just to get access to internet, and that's like 80 miles right outside of our city. And so be on the lookout for that too. But I would say it's nothing to really be fearful of. A lot of people will say, oh, this AI thing is going to take all of the jobs. I will say a statistic that's out. AI will replace 87 million jobs in the next 5 years. But it will create 92 million jobs. So I'm a firm believer that it's not AI that's going to replace everybody's jobs. The people that can actually utilize AI to their advantage, that's going to replace jobs, right? And be able to maximize the opportunities around that.
I would say, me personally, the things that I'm mostly excited about as well, like AR, VR. AI is just, like you said, scratching the surface. There's so much to choose from. And I think I'm just excited to see what's produced outside of what's already. Um, and I don't think, like it should be fear attached to it. It's like you just have to adapt to what's going on. And realistically speaking, it's going to happen anyways, whether you like it or not. And I feel like working in these tech spaces and like seeing what it's like doing for me, someone that's like working right now in tech and seeing how it's helping me write papers and think about things in ways that I haven't thought about things. I think this makes me excited to see what the future holds. I don't really know any. You just gave us the inside scoop. I don't really know any other like specific technology to look forward to, but I would say just do research. There's so much out there. It's like you can't express all of it at the time. So, yeah. I work in that field. So.
I'll just piggyback off of it as well. I think the biggest thing that I'm forward to is differentiating the versions of technology as well. So I want to see what is it going to look like this cross that is, do a step. So another thing that I'm looking for how it can bring about creativity within the creativity that this is in. A lot of way of operating, and when the user have that flow and clear understanding of ways to be more efficient, to have more lean products, to do something that's good for. So that's in terms of anything else. I think we've already told you guys, gave us everything. So
Yeah, subscribe to the yeah, let us know.
Thanks. Oh. I. Okay. Well, Tommy, I'm still here. First of all, I just want to acknowledge you, my young sister. I saw that. I see you. In fact, I see all of the young people, and I'm just this event. Is for you all, about being your village, surround. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot, and you're embarrassed, but I do feel like even as Black folks and everything we're going through, we have emotions. And that's part of, we're talking about tech, robots, AI, and all that nature. But we're human. We have emotions, we have feelings. And I felt that, and to say, because like we're saying, in these spaces, and even in these tech spaces, you're saying you're in school, you're trying to get it, and things happen, and something happens to you, that causes an emotional reaction. I embrace you. I think we all embrace you, and we just want you to know that we are here. We now even have some mentors here at this table that just for whatever reason, just reach out. We're here for you. That's what this whole situation is about. And so I'm glad to be able to see this full circle and this happen. And the other thing, so my question is, with what so many young people are already doing with their intellectual property, with a lot of what they're doing, Instagramming and TikToking and all those type of things, and you're already kind of using that. I feel like those are transferable skills, and how can they learn? So they're learning it and using it for just social media for fun or whatever. But how are ways that they can really begin to monetize or really begin to think of how to take these things they're already doing that they're probably not even considering? Like this is work. This is a platform, and instead of giving it away for free to TikTok and all those things, find a way to how to capture that and monetize. What is some advice you all can give them as far as those transferable skills that you already have.
Yeah, I want to hear from the social media queen herself, okay? Miss Janaya, like, yes, I honestly want to hear from her.
Yeah, so very interesting point that you made. I think that's a beautiful way to put it. You said it's properties. And at the end of the day, like whatever you're on that allows someone else to look, watch you, it's your brand. Like it's you. And I think again, like paying attention to things you actually gravitate towards, the things that you absolutely are good at, and the things that you I'm not a big advocate for turning every single hobby that you have into like monetizing it. Only because sometimes like love and you'll never work again. Sometimes like life and there's so much like advancement and craft inside of it is to make it so easy as too expensive. But if you feel like I feel like there's so many people out there monetizing themselves on all different types of gears that like talking to a microphone with food in their mouth and like they're making money, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. And so advice I would say is really just like I would say believe in yourself if it's something that's crossed your mind and it's up to you to kind of like take it serious. There's more resources to the university. There's probably like 1,000 other people that are doing the same exact thing that you're doing. So don't let it discourage you. I would say what else? Like, like I would say just go after it. Do your research. And there's ChatGPT, hello, like you don't have to think of anything on your brain anymore. Literally just, hey, I'm thinking of this and tell me what's step by step to get to this point. And I think that it's about pacing yourself. It's about having the discipline and recognize in order to kind of like go on to that successful action. It's never like a overnight, one step in a part kind of thing. Truly, like anything else that you work for, your jobs, your schoolwork is gonna take work and it's gonna take time. Obstacles are gonna come your way, and it's up to you to kind of make sure that you really want it, or it's obstacles, right? So just go for it. I guess don't think too hard about it. Don't think too hard on yourself. And if it doesn't work, then at least you try it versus like it's always been a thing that just kind of so that would be my advice.
Yes.
I think my advice would be anything that you do is a mistake. And I understood that whenever how do I apply for a job? How do we get this? How do we? And I started to understand that the skills that they're looking for at the company is expand yourself. Use it already. So, for example, we are particular social media was doing all right. So doing different types, and not ads, but different types of posts that were engaged my audience, different things like that, and what I was for capitalism. All right, so every social media you have to who's on resharing it, how long did you look at it? Understanding the business behind that. Business outside to capitalize. So from that, we were able to get started. So then my biggest advice is that anything that you do can be an extension of how you value yourself. Whenever you value yourself and your value work, and try to be in that and put that on your resume so somebody what's your
And then just to kind of surmise everything, I really feel like it boils down to niching, differentiating, and consistency. So niching yourself, really understanding what you're good at, and then getting into a field that is a vertical, right, or a business line, right? What do I mean by that? So, a lot of people don't understand. Okay, you're cooking every day. That's something that you can do it on TikTok or on social media, right? Cooking meals every day, and showing how to cook those. Now you've created 10 videos, right? Okay, now here's 10 recipes. Now you have a cookbook that you can then publish on that following and build a whole, and you built all of this with ChatGPT, 15 to 30 minutes to do this whole thing, step-by-step processes. You now have a whole ebook, a whole cookbook that you can now sell online, that is yours, right? You can come out with a whole soul food book, right? Whatever you want, whatever your food type is, even if it's ethnic, like that is even better, right? Like you have more of an advantage. You know what I'm saying in that scenario, because it's something different, which brings me to my second point. How are you different from what the everyday is? You learning to differentiate yourself, right? And so what does that look like in the industry, right? It can be from something signature of what you're saying every time that you're doing this video, what you're wearing, what you're advertising, right? The products that's there, because then you start using the products. Let's say you have a knife set that's Cuisinart or something, and this is not a marketing promotion whatsoever. Let's say you have a Cuisinart set right there on your counter, and you're cooking with that Cuisinart set. You're tagging that company, and now you're getting brand partnership deals from that company, right? Differentiating yourself. And then getting into consistency, because all of what I just said takes time. So you have to stay consistent, which has honestly been one of my downfalls. I get so busy with my company and everything that's going on. I had a whole TikTok, Chef Boyardee, cooking up, y'all cooking. When I'm telling y'all, like, that's why I use that example, because I was talking to myself. I was literally just talking to myself now in the area. And I did not take advantage of that. Like, I still can. I still have the platform, right? There's still time. But you have to stay consistent, right? Because I get lazy. Okay, I'm gonna get fast food one night, and I ain't cooking tonight. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm cooking, trying to hurry up, and it's like, okay, I don't want to go through this editing process. It's take an extra hour on top of the 2 hours or hour and a half that I'm cooking, right? So then I get to thoughts in my head and things like that. So again, niching yourself, differentiating yourself.
All of what he just said, which is place, that's where a lot of these things fit. And so I think really sets people apart. I would start with not a lot of things. So really just like not getting discouraged. Even though you know, okay, Chef Larry, you can pick it back up tomorrow. So I really think just continue to like figure out, like get a support team that, like believe in your dream. Like, I say, hey, I'm gonna write a book, they're gonna be like, okay, what you want it to be about? When you plan to publish it, it's like hold to account. People around. It's like I love to find people that inspire me and use fuel for me in the long run. Not as competition, because where you would nobody can. So being consistent, like you said, I think that's really discipline.
Well, first of all, I was going to say, thank you for being here. And for all of you doing 9 days a week, 6 to 5. And the thing that's running through my head right now, when I was in college, which was in the 70s, Aretha Franklin had an album, she sung a song, Young Gifted and Black. And I was just thinking about Young Gifted and Black. But I'm also thinking about the use of the word influence. And of course, there's influence here and there. But for me, everything always goes back in a lot of ways to politics and policy. And how you're the up and comers, you're the future, and these folks in the audience too. How to take the tech and your ability to communicate that, influence our community to really get engaged in it, but also what strategies do you think about to use to influence the people who actually have the power? Because most of the people that make laws, that pass policy, don't know nothing about it. And how, what do you think about ways to influence the decision makers? Talk about, for interviews and jobs, but policymakers, representatives, and what paths do you utilize, or you think would be better able to utilize to get policymakers to really know and understand and value our input for our future,
Yeah, I just want to touch on that actually. So that kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, just with opportunity and having the opportunity, right? So a lot of people don't know about this program, and I'm about to do a shameless plug called the Get Engaged program. It's through the YMCA, right? Amani Bender runs it. But you can essentially get a spot to be a commissioner of the state, right? A Washington State commissioner. And so I went through the program and got basically inducted with the city council and the mayor for the Citizens Technical Advisory Board. So you can choose the niches that you want to get involved in. And they have a whole tech division that focuses on digital equity, on making policy for people of color that's rooted in technology. They have a whole council behind it, right? It's like, but it's focused on the Get Engaged program because these people that are doing this, as you said, they're above 35. They're 40, 50 years old, you know what I'm saying? Which is not, nothing bad like that. But I'm saying, as far as like making policy and like keeping in the new, like you have to have younger generations at the table, right? That's why we're having something like this. Because all too often, even with like, celebrations like this, the youth is left out. But in this event, we're incorporating. So I'm saying you have to maintain the youth and ensuring, and shout out to Ms. Tanayasu for incorporating the youth and being over the youth, right? But yes, I'm saying that to say, and shameless plug again, Get Engaged program. I love y'all to get involved, anybody, but that's from, I think it's 18 to 24 or something like that, or 25. But yeah, things like that to actually be a part of the decision-making process, be part of the equity side. So I totally agree. Because in order to positively disrupt the system, you need to be a part of the system, right? So.
Yes. So like, can we give our panel a little?
We want to thank also for being here. As I said, they want to help and support you all, as us, I guess, coming in too. So if you have any questions, we're going to chat for a couple minutes after this. Who's our rep today?
No, there's one more session and it's me. We can start almost immediately as well. Nobody.
This is not the end. We do have a final segment with Dr. Tracy Merrill.
Yes.
I will hand this mic off to the Mr. Wilmore.
y'all. Give me the mic. Hey, y'all, real quick, we got a 5-minute intermission. If you're gonna stay here, the preparation is for you to just relax. Take a few deep breaths. Turn the volume up a little bit. It's one of my favorite things. We're at the beach. We're relaxed. What I'm gonna talk about is called living powerful. Living powerful. You heard it. We get to talk today about what it means to live powerfully. Take a deep breath and just think about, I'm going to ask a few of you, what does living powerfully mean to you? So 5 minutes, we're back in 5 minutes.